Hi there neighbors, today in our 2013 Chrysler 200, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install CURT's 1 1/4 inch Class 1 trailer hitch receiver. And this is what our hitch is going to look like when it's installed. Our cross tube is going to be hidden behind the bumper, so you're only going to see the receiver tube sticking out the back here. It's a Class 1 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 inch receiver, so it's going to be great for your light towing needs. Whether you're going to put a bike rack on it, load it up with a couple of bikes, a small cargo carrier, or even a very light duty trailer. It uses a 1/2 inch hitch pin and clip. Now one doesn't come included with this hitch, but you can pick one up here at etrailer.com. It features hoop style safety chain loops that has a very large opening that should accommodate just about every shape, size, and style of safety chain from your very small to your very large. It features a 200-pound tongue weight, that's the force going down on top of the receiver. And with 200 pounds you should have no problem putting a bike rack on there and loading it up with 2 bikes. It also features a 2,000-pound gross towing capacity, and that's how much can pull behind it. Now, as always, I want to recommend that you verify in your vehicle's owner's manual and ensure you don't exceed any of its towing capacities. I've got a few measurements here to help you when deciding on accessories. From the center of the hitch pin hole to the edge of our rear bumper, it's going to measure about 4 inches. This is important when determining if any of your folding accessories can be placed in the upright storage position without contacting the bumper. And from the ground to the top inside edge of the receiver tube, it measures about 10 3/4 inches. This is important when determining if you need to drop, rise, or raise shank on any of your accessories. And since it is so low, I would recommend that you have a raised shank on all of your accessories. Now that we've gone over some of the features, let's go through the installation together so you can have the confidence to do it at home. We'll begin our installation underneath the vehicle by lowering down our exhaust. You'll want to put a strap in place first, kind of snug it up a little bit, because once we take our hangers loose and drop it down, we don't want to cause any damage to the exhaust, so that'll catch it and let us control how far we lower it. We're going to use some spray lubricant to lubricate our hangers to make them easier to pry off. There's 4 hangers we're going to need to remove, 2 behind the muffler, 1 on each side, and 2 in front of the muffler, 1 on each side. Just want to get behind it, and then you can just pry it off. We're going to do the same thing for each of the remaining hangers. We'll now take the coiled cable that comes in our kit. We're going to use this as a fish wire to get our bolt from the access hole here and to come out the hole located here. So we're going to put the coiled end in the small hole. We're going to feed it back to our square hole here and bring the coiled end out. We can then place our spacer over the coiled end and push that up into the frame, and then thread our carriage bolt onto the coiled end. We can then push that up into the frame and pull it back through. Once you've got it back through, just go ahead and push the bolt so it's just inside the frame like that, and you'll repeat this same process on the other side. The other hole, just to the rear of the hole where we fished our wire through, is going to use the longer bolts that come in your kit. Place your spacer on the long bolt, and then from the outside of the frame in, you're going to feed the bolt through the hole, and so that way it comes out the inside. Now once again, we're going to push that in slightly so we can get our hitch into place, so we don't want it sticking out because that'll interfere with raising our hitch up. We're going to do the same thing on the other side as well. Now with the next set of hands, we're going to lift our hitch into position. You'll need to work it up over the exhaust on one side first, then the other. And you can take your fish wire and put it through the forwardmost hole. We'll then lift it up, lining up the hole in our hitch with the holes in our frame, and then use our fish wire to pull the bolt through. And then use the fish wire to pull the bolt through. Once you've got it pulled through on each side, the hitch will hold itself up, making it easier to install the rest of your hardware. If you can, while you're there, you can push through your other bolt as well. Once all your hardware has been pushed through, you can take your coiled cables off. Be careful not to push the bolt back into the frame, and thread your flange nut onto your bolts. They're all going to use the same size hardware, so you'll use the same flange nuts for each of the hardware that we poke through the frame. Then you can go back and tighten down all of your hardware using a 19mm wrench. For your rearmost bolt, you'll likely need another 19mm wrench to hold the bolt on the other side of the frame to keep it from spinning. Then you can go back and torque all of your hardware to the specifications found in your instructions. We can now lift our exhaust back into position. A little bit of spray lube will make it easier to slide your hangers back on. Just want to spray them, lift your exhaust back up, and they should just push right back into place. You'll want to do that for each of your hangers. Once your hitch is back up, don't forget to take your strap down. Your installation is now complete. You're ready to hook up your favorite accessory and hit the road. And that completes our installation of CURT's Class 1 1¼ inch trailer hitch receiver on your 2013 Chrysler 200.